Alright, this is my project on the Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad. The book had 146 pages in it, and it was published by Penguin Books in the year 1976. The time of the book was placed in 1950s through 1980s, which was the time of the Vietnam War. The author, Joseph Conrad, oh, by the way, this is the book cover in the back. If you want to see the back, I guess. This is Joseph Conrad. He's got a beard, which is pretty awesome. He was born on December 3rd, 1857 in Berdyshev, Ukraine, which is formerly Poland. He left home when he was a teenager and became a major mariner. He was taught by his shipmates English. Lord Jim, Typhoon, The Secret Agent are some of his other works. Jessie George was his wife. They had two boys, Boris and John. Personal history of Joseph Conrad was he was a Polish author who wrote in English after settling in England. Always considered himself a Pole even though he was granted British nationality in 1886. Conrad is regarded as one of the greatest novelists in English, even though he did not speak the language fluently until he was in the 20s. Well, the book is basically about imperialism, which is a policy of extending a country's power and influence through diplomacy or military force, which means a country trying to take over and gain more power. The book is about a man named Charles Marlowe, which is the protagonist or main character. Marlowe is a smooth-talking, independent-minded man, much like myself, who is generally skeptical of those around him. Anyways, Marlowe is sent deep into the Africa to export ivory for a large trading company. When he makes it to the station placed deep in the jungle, Marlowe learns about a man named Kurtz. Kurtz is a legend in the ivory industry. Marlowe also learns that Kurtz has become a savage himself. Savages are crazy tribal people who try killing people who aren't welcome, which anyone in the ivory business knows they are not welcome in the jungle. This is where the story goes from a business adventure to a rescue mission. Marlowe ends up finding Kurtz deep in the jungle. He convinces Kurtz to come back with him and leave the jungle for good. On the way out, Kurtz ends up dying, leaving Marlowe with very important information. He cannot tell anyone the information, or people will be after him to kill him. I can't go any further into details about the book because it'll give away the story. Once again, the setting is between the 1950s and the 1980s, which was the time of the Vietnam War. The book is set so far back in time that I can't really relate to it. I don't spend time on boats looking for people in Africa jungles, because that'd be a waste of time. Nowadays you can just find them on GPS or anything. I wouldn't recommend this book because it's really hard to follow, hard to understand. There's a lot of people added in there that just for the story the main focus is on Charles Marlowe and the man named Kurtz. They never give his first name. It's more of a senior, if not college material. It was a really difficult book, and it was one of the hardest books I've ever read. I had a hard time following it, and I had to reread it twice just to understand what it was about. Well, that's basically it.